Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Cindy, and if you haven't heard, about 2 months ago my husband got news that he will be getting laid off at the end of October. We immediately jumped into action and made some changes, such as pausing our 401k contribution as well as decreasing our tax withholdings. We also had $7,813 in credit card debt, and we were able to tackle that debt in less than 2 months. So if you're interested in hearing how we did that, stay tuned. So how did we manage to pay off almost $8,000 in credit card debt? Well, with each paycheck we're getting back $1,188 just from the changes that we've made from pausing our 401k contribution as well as decreasing our tax withholdings. Once our money came in, we made sure to make payments towards our credit cards as soon as possible to avoid higher interest payments. From July till now, we've received 3 paychecks, which has given us a total of $3,564. Along with the refunds and the savings hacks that we did, that we explained in one of our previous videos on how we saved close to $5,000 in the month of July, we were able to really tackle a lot of the credit card debt that we have, along with the leftover money that we had from our regular paychecks. So with all that, we were able to be credit card debt free as of August 15th. Last time I did a credit card or consumer debt-free video, I did this whole video premiere and celebrated with some treats, but this time around we decided to keep it low-key and just go out to dinner and celebrate in a small special way between me and my husband. By tackling my credit card debt alone, I was able to raise my credit score up by 73 points. So as of August 11th, my credit score used to be 747 points, and as of August 18th, my score went up to 820 points, which puts me in the excellent range. As we're moving forward, we've been putting ourselves on a budget and tracking our expenses, so let me show you guys what we've been doing for the month of August. For our budget and our expenses, we've been tracking everything in Google spreadsheets. This just makes it easy for us to track wherever we are, whether we're at home on our computer or on the go using our cell phones. And for this month, we decided to allocate ourselves $1,000 to spend. This is to cover any unexpected expenses, so this does not include expenses like our mortgage payment or bills for our utilities or cell phone bill or anything like that. With this month and our budget, I've broken it out to several categories for our spending, such as groceries, dining out and entertainment, shopping and beauty, transportation, pets, health, and I've added a category called Other for anything that doesn't fit into one of my other categories. This other category just helps me document and track anything else that wasn't expected, and it helps me think about how I want to revise my budget for the upcoming months. So as you can see here, I've already divided the $1,000 budget for my categories and given them a small budget of their own. So this helps me try to stay within budget and on track so that I don't try to overspend or anything like that. So for this month, we haven't been doing that great. As you can see, there are several categories that are in the negative, showing how much we went over budget for those categories. And a lot of the overspending came from our pets' expenses. We ended up having a pet that ended up getting injured, and we had a lot of vet bills and medication to cover for that. So unfortunately, just with that alone, we were already over budget by over $700. And our other categories, we didn't do too bad, but again, we always want to try and stay in the positive and not the negative. So this kind of gives me an idea of how we're doing for this month. We've really been out of the loop with our budgeting and tracking, so it kind of feels like starting all over again and really trying to build that muscle of trying to figure out how how we spend and what are some good habits to form. So without diving too much into this, you guys can see that I have documented how much things ended up costing, where I made the purchase, and when I made the purchase. So this can just refresh my mind on how my spending was for the month. I've used some formulas to kind of automate things for myself to make my life a little easier, and it tells me how much over budget I was in total. So just for this month alone, it looks like we spent close to $1,800, which is almost $800 over our allocated budget, which isn't great, but we're hoping to get a handle on that and kind of correct it for the future months. So I've already started figuring out what I want to budget for September, and I've revised my budget to give myself $800 in spending money for my different categories, and I've also revised the budgets in the categories themselves to try to help myself get back on track and cut back a little bit so that we can be more in the positive and recover from our spending in August. I also added a new section called sinking funds because we have the holidays coming up and we also have weddings and birthdays. So for that, I ended up designating different amounts for these categories so that I could help myself reach the goal that we have by the end of the year for these different sinking funds. On the plus side, with us taking care of our credit card debt and improving our budget skills and tracking our expenses, we've been able to save an additional $4,000 since July and put that towards our savings. So originally we only had $5,600 in savings, and with the $4,000 added to that, we have a total savings of $9,600. We've consolidated a lot of our savings and checkings accounts, and we moved all of our savings into a high yield savings account, which gives us an annual percentage yield, or APY, of 4.3%, which is really great for us, and we're trying to take advantage of those high interest rates for now while they're still here. And just with us doing that, we so far have gotten $5.32 for the month of July just by having our money in a high yield savings account. We're hoping that by adding to our savings and having it in our high yield savings account, that will just only give us more money earned from interest from that account, and that money earned from interest could be our future sinking funds so that we don't have to worry about taking money out of our own paychecks to allocate for sinking funds for upcoming expenses. So we're really happy about that, and we think that we've made some really good changes and feel a little bit more positive about our future outlook. So that's all I have for this video. Make sure to check out our other videos if you haven't already that are related to our tech layoff series. We hope that you enjoyed this video, so make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to follow us along on our journey.